Okay, let's go! First game in our second semifinal here today, everybody. We are on Infernal Shrines. Feel the heat against Laubers Fanclub. It is the Ice Cold Cup by Chili Mountain that we're heading into again. So, ready for a little bit of action between two top teams here. Darknock playing today too, so I'm already looking forward to that. Yeah, I gotta call out Wit here. Wit is host today, and the first thing that he asked before we started, so both teams say like, hey, we're ready, we're good to go, and then Wit comes in and is like, Khaldor, are you ready? And was like, what is this? Is this the first time that you're in the game? Like, for European players, it's a little bit weird. As a caster, you always have to be ready. Nah, generally speaking, if as a caster, you are not ready when the players are ready to start the game, something is seriously wrong. So you are the one that they should literally never pay attention to. If the players are ready, you have to be ready. If you're not ready, that's your problem. So, heading into map number 1, it is a best of 3 series that we're looking at right now. We have our first map, again Infernal Shrines. We saw the same pattern also in the first semifinal. Again, the ban against Medivh. This time it's not Hazops that they're worried about, but of course you got Ultralisk on the other side, and therefore you want to ban that out. D.Va gets banned too. We've seen a higher priority on her. In the first semifinal she has been banned and played. We have also ETC banned, and we have Zarya taken out. So pretty much Svamgorda has already been target banned, and Lauber has been target banned a little bit. Meta, of course, also still supports those heroes, but there's a few bans that you might not have seen in the past. For example, Zarya doesn't necessarily get banned out every single game, but Svamgorda and Laubers Fanclub in particular, they're really playing well around that hero, so that ban makes sense. Again, you are always limited. There's always games where at the end of the game, there's people coming in and asking like, hey, oh my god, how could they not ban this or that hero? And it's pretty simple. You can only ban 3. So at some point, you just have to make a choice of what you want to get rid of, what not. But we have again Zul coming in for Feel the Heat. They really like to play around that. We have Wit currently on it, and I don't doubt that they're going to play around that a little bit more. Svamgorda gets actually his Chromie here, and we have Urel taken, which leaves also Imperius open, interestingly enough. So we still got a couple of heroes that have a huge impact in the meta, and that have not been taken yet. So a bit of a different setup here for them. And let's see how exactly Feel the Heat is going to counter that. Are we going to see the old man, for example? Nope. Jojo. And Dainu on Junkrat. Alright. Now we know, of course, which team is in the grand final already. So this match will decide who is going up against them. But, well, on the bans now, what else are we going to get? I mean, if you're going to go up against Blade, you might as well... if Blade, he's either going to play Deathwing or Leo if he gets the chance. You have Blaze out as well, so those are the 3. But usually on the priority, we got one of those. So they ban out Zeratul because they're a little bit afraid that Dainu is going to push Junkrat over to one of the other players, and then instead Zeratul comes in. And you need to, of course, be a bit careful with that. Dainu is one of the best Zeratul players that we have on the European server. Definitely one of the top 3 here, together with Tai and Nick, I suppose. But let's see what eventually is going to be taken here by Blade for the offlane. Leo would be great. He offers you quite a lot, especially in the wave clear. Can put pressure on the tank, whatever that's going to be on Lauber's side. But of course, Blade is also someone who plays a ton of Deathwing and really likes to play that hero too. Malfurion gets eliminated here. There's also one of the series I feel where we could eventually something picked like Tracer again. But let's see what the Fanclub is going to take here. It's actually cool seeing the Fanclub too. I mean, Lauber has been taking a little bit of a break, but he's playing here now again. So that's kind of neat. He's been also playing in some of these in-house matches that I casted recently on the NA server. Here we got Lauber with Diablo, so wall stuns are incoming. And this is... like, people that watched HGC religiously will remember that. Deckard, Kayn, Diablo, and Urel were for a long time a huge staple on the European scene. I think that combo went 19-1 or something. Whenever you got those 3 heroes in a draft, you pretty much won the game. So it was absolutely incredible. The meta then at some point changed, but up to that point, it was literally just this double frontline with the support from the back that obliterated everything. It was just insane to see that back then. Blade gets picked, Blade picks Tychus. They're going to swap things around a little bit, but we also have Anna coming through. So we have Tychus as a bit of a tank buster. I'm going to try and take Diablo down here, and of course Urel as well. But that leaves us with the last pick, and, well, let's see what the Fanclub is going to throw in for this one. They need, of course, to have a bit more damage. Ideally, also someone that can get sustainable damage out there and not relies too heavily on cooldowns. Unless they want to go for full bust. And there's a Tracer pick. There we go. Tracer comes in. We got the cavalry, ladies and gentlemen. Infernal Shrines. Map number 1. Should be a fun one. Our first map in the best of 3 series here at the Ice Cold Cup by Chili Mountain. Laubers Fanclub against Feel the Heat. Okay. Let's go. Party time. Whoop whoop. The name, the bracket show, yeah, that's always how they spelled it, but obviously if I use that spelling on my overlay, then 50,000 people are gonna ask what team that is. So yeah, that's why I go for the normal team name. Players are sometimes bored and come up with weird new name changes and everything, and if you religiously watch Heroes every single day, then you can keep up with that, but since a lot of people only watch it occasionally, that would more than confuse people. Also one of the reasons why I still call most of the players with their normal names if they go for a silly account change like Burger and Backhold. Game on, everyone! Our first map, Infernal Shrines, is live, and on the left side, Dainu on Junkrat. We got Yasu on Ana, Wit on Johanna. Ultralisk is the one playing Tychus here today, and Blade has now been put onto Zul. On the right side of the map, we have the contender. Laubers Fanclub with Henning on Deckard Kane, Svamkarota on Chromie, Rutsu on Tracer, Lauber on Diablo, and Dartmorg is playing Urel in game number 1 in this series here. So, time to party. Yeah, on level 1 for Tychus, we got the dash coming through. Tychus is always super interesting when he's in the game. I mean, Blizzard was trying to change him a little bit, and he still gets played against big hit point tanks quite a lot. You can obviously also get Odin in for any kind of objective. It's pretty much one of the things that has been done even in HGC for a long time. The North American teams were really fond of playing an Alexstrasza with Dragon Queen or Tychus with Odin, and roughly after you get 20 stacks towards the objective, you pop your ult, and that transformation is going to allow you to do a lot of work, secure the objective normally. And that for a long time has been pretty much like the draft pattern that we've seen in those cases. But either way, as all of this is now coming through, we have on level 1 for Chromie the Time Walker's Pursuit over here. We already have our Tracer just hunting around on the map, trying to see if she can maybe get something done here. Ana, of course, also helping out with the camp, and now after the 1 minute mark, that's usually the time when we're going to see the fight over the third camp at the bottom of the map. Up to the top, Gladiator's Medallion breaks the setup from Zul, and yeah, Urel is able to get away. So with the Bone Prison coming in, that could have been a kill, but Gladiator's Medallion is of course in play. And if you skip the patch or two and you don't know what that is, Gladiator's Medallion is Blizzard's new approach at a Nexus anomaly. So what they did is they gave every single hero an unstoppable, so to say cleanse. I mean, again, it makes you unstoppable, and you can only use it once every 5 minutes, so it's a 5-minute cooldown. Unfortunately, it's not reflected in the UI just yet. Blizzard is not going to include it in the UI anyways. I mean, we pretty much know that, and don't really care about esports. But we still have Ali, for example, working on it, and he is going to incorporate that eventually, and then we can use that for as long as the anomaly exists, because hopefully they're going to shut this thing down after that duration. Players not really being too happy about it. Not really something that we necessarily need there. But yeah, either way, we got on level 4, the bigger they are, standard talent to take on Tigers, of course. They want to try and burn Diablo down as quickly as they can. You lead in with any kind of stun when Diablo is at full HP. Let's say Johanna sets it up, or you have maybe Ana or Zul coming in, and then you burn the hero down as quickly as you can. And the finishing touches are then put in by the rest of the team, but that's normally the setup that you're looking for. So right now we have already a bit of pressure against Lauber at the bottom of the map. He needs to be careful. Dodges out on the sleep dart, that was important. If he gets hit by that, he likely goes down. But with the first objective now up and both of the teams taking topside, their Shaman camp, this is going to be the fight here. This time we see Ruby on Deckard Kane. Henning goes for the talent here. Shrine is active, and only Urel is up at the top. So Laubers Fanclub is delaying the battle just a little bit to give Urel time to clear out the top Shaman. That could help them with pressure against the camp. The problem is that Chromie gets totally racked over here. Gladiator's Medallion, oh no, she doesn't stand a chance there. That's another big cooldown, by the way, used by her. So she's going to be back in another 9 seconds, but she's going to have to wait nearly 5 minutes until she can use that again. And that is ending all the ambitions of Laubers Fanclub to take the first objective. Feel the Heat is going to come in for this one and take it easily. There's at least a talent advantage for the Fanclub, but let's be honest, this is not going to last long. In just a second or two, we're going to have talents on both sides for 7. And that's going to help them to push down here at the bottom. So already, the level 7, we got the Relentless Soldiers here for Tigers. And they bait the Punisher over the wall, try to do what they can with the defense. The wall will fall. And then it's a bit of a question of what's happening in the middle and up at the top. Because I don't think that the experience that's currently being gathered by Feel the Heat is getting them too far ahead. But with it now coming down, they might just get a little bit more damage in than expected. The wall is not gone, by the way. It's a 4 versus 4 for now. And Svamgrota is still trying to get some damage in. But Anna is safe. Anna is able to get away. She was under quite some pressure in the last fight, but is still able to make it out here. And Zul and Urel are now rotating on the map. It's pretty even in experience. A slight advantage again for Feel the Heat, mainly through the objective they just won. And off we go. Up here comes the attack again against Zul. Blade able to move out. No problem for that. And yep, not bad. Svamgrota sitting there defending the bot lane, but the tower falls regardless. And all the way up at the top, Darkmok is now trying to make a stand against Blade again. A little bit of a skirmish back and forth. The camps are up, and we're going to see the exchanges here. They're always attempting to get a gank going with Darkmok and Rutsu both at the top. They might actually get this one, and yes, there we go. Nicely played. The Bone Prison still comes through, but the tower is just not able to get the counter kill. Just not enough damage on that thing. And with that kill, we all of a sudden see the Fanclub draw even in experience. So good for them. Tigers is taking over on the EXP though. Needs to be very careful since both Rutsu and Darkmok are still there and are still trying to get a kill. Uh-oh, and that's starting to become a problem. Ultralisk nearly walked into it, but now Darkmok and Rutsu are trying to set it up. Nice use on the Gladiator's Medallion again, but it doesn't matter. Ultralisk is still dead. He initially got away from Urel thanks to the Unstoppable, but now, of course, Urel with the Divine Steed heads away. Tracer escapes too, and, well, that's 2 kills against 1 for Feel the Heat. We have the ults taken, and the Falling Sword is in. Usually that's something that gets used a lot against Ana, but particularly by Feel the Heat. We see a lot more Falling Sword lately than we do see the Blessed Shield. And if you have a couple of stationary targets on the other side, like a Deckard Kane, then you can put enormous pressure onto them by simply jumping with the ult over, and that's what we're going to see here as it continues, especially with the Riptide as a potential follow-up. And we also got the Eye of Horus on level 10 for the hero. So here we go. Another fight in the middle though. But nothing too crazy just happening yet. Diablo is hit by the sleep dart. Oh, Urel might be in a bit of trouble. She's not the only one. Blade also in a world of pain here. Goes down as we have Deckard Kane coming through with his own ult. It's still a 5 versus 4 in favor of the Fanclub. 3 kills to 1 for them, and the Shrine activating in another 15 seconds. Ults mostly up. Urel had to use her ult though. So did Zul. So those are 2 heroes that will very likely not be able to get their ults back up for a potential fight over the objective. So those are resources you have to play around a little bit. But as it continues, we also have the Sands on Chromie on the level 10. With Gladiator's Medallion in play, Temporal Loop is always a little bit of an iffy one. I mean, even if the loop is being used and Gladiator's Medallion is pulled on the other side, it's a cooldown win at the end of the day. But of course, the ult itself doesn't really get all that much value any longer if everybody has an Unstoppable that it can use to dodge out on the drawback. Over here, it seems like they're going to let this one slide. There's nobody making any kinds of play for it. So, yeah, they're playing this a little bit slow. No jump onto it. 34 stacks already acquired. Yeah, there's no way they're actually going to make any commitment here. So, right now, there's a potential jump again. As you can see, we also have now still a little bit of a poke. One last minion missing. And with Chromie in the mix, there's pretty much no chance of you catching up on this. top side gets defended, and well, there it is. Arcane Punisher is in. Yeah, and of course, with that, at least the front wall should fall down here. We don't really have them going for it just yet. Laubers is currently sitting at the bottom, getting the last few experience points as he moves up top. And we already have the bait over the wall, so the Punisher needs to be careful here. Top side, Jojo, still in a decent spot. That's obviously the beautiful thing of you playing with Falling Sword. It's not only a fantastic tool to really put damage onto the back line and pressure them, but if you are getting ganked, it is also possible to use the Falling Sword as a panic button that allows you to just rush away. In this case, it's not really needed. We're just still able to move away. That's a beautiful shot, though. That's a fantastic one. They get some serious damage on Rutzo, take him down to 50% HP, but since they didn't have a stun in that situation, it doesn't really matter anymore. If that's a blessed shield pick on Johanna, in this case, she's dead. Now, of course, again, there's very different reasons why you would pick those two ults, but in this particular moment, the only thing that saved Tracer was that there was no stun around. So, yeah, nicely done by Rutsu here, but a fantastic sleep dart, of course, from Ana in the first place. 13 talents ready for both now. And, well, with that, we have now 12,000 damage on Junkrat. We got 14,000 damage on Tracer. Just nibbling away the entire time. And, I mean, it's little running circles around the opponent. But they're not really engaging into too many fights right now anymore. So we currently still have pressure at the top, and Darkmonk is actually getting a lot of value for the team here. Zul is now rotating up, but look at all the damage that we're seeing. And this is a problem. If that fountain goes down, that's a disaster. The next fight is actually at the top. And look at Tracer. Tracer is actually trying to create a little bit of space for Darkmonk. I'm very surprised that he didn't get the last hit in here. Not taking down the fountain is missing out on an opportunity to take lane sustain away from an opponent before the objective spawns on the map. So with the shields regenerating, that's a problem. I think he was definitely in a spot where he could have gone for the final hit before he moves out, but either way, they decided against it. Maybe he also thought that he already had enough to take it down here, but either way, we have on the level 16 talent now the Shifting Sands. Not a single fort has fallen yet. All the forts are still up. Bot lane has taken a beating, but the forts are all still there. And now it's, of course, 10 minutes into the game, time for the camps again. Gonna take this late, waiting for the objective first. But again, it's a top lane shrine this time, so it's not like those shaman camps are gonna get that much done here. So currently with the move through the middle, it's just like the hope to maybe get a quick kill here at some point. Someone moves through, but right now, it ain't happening yet. It's a little bit of a slow approach. Both teams, of course, would like to have level 16 for the fight. In another 25 seconds, we're going to see that. Laubers staying around quite long here. I mean, they had vision. He's going down. Can they really save him? You gotta be fucking kidding me. They actually saved Diablo. A lot of cooldowns burned here. Even the Falling Sword had been committed to, and he just walked out of it. Just looked at it as like, yeah, no, sorry, I died this dying thing and I don't really like it. It's not really for me, I suppose. So he just walked away from it. But that could have been a kill against him. Now, of course, he is fully stacked on his baseline. So he would be back within a few seconds. But it's still, you can't really lose a hero like that just before the fight starts. So here comes the move towards the shrine. Jojo still needs to wait another 10 seconds before her Falling Sword is back. But this actually looks really good already for the Fanclub. Now they go for Diablo again, trying to attack the tank here. Here's Odin as they're committing to that. Tracer with the bomb. And the Riptire is putting a bit more pressure onto Lauber himself. Chromie, on the other hand, is in a lot of trouble, but Deckard Kane with a save. Here's the jump, and Lauber goes down. Diablo, he will be back. Ana won't. Ana down, and they are looking for kill number 2. Blade gets pancaked as Urel jumps in, hooves first, and takes him apart. That's 2 kills to 1, and Diablo, thanks to the souls, is back to business. The Fanclub with 5 kills to 2, and in the middle of the map, Rutzo tries to connect the bomb and misses, just hitting one of the minions instead. Darkmonk, a bit aggressive. No problem for him, though. Needs to move back as Tychus was also threatening to just turn it and kill him. But of course, the top shrine, that's pretty much a done deal right here, as they're easily going for the objective. Urel has moved down to the bottom, gets some more experience for the team, saves the fort, at least for now. And things are looking spectacular at this point for Laubers Fanclub. Feel the Heat is in a bit of trouble. They're going to start losing structures now. They will be able to take the bottom fort if they want it. And in we go. Sizzling attacks, of course, on 16 for Tychus. Top fort has already fallen. That means that this entire setup is now moving towards the keep wall and trying to get a bit more work done right here. Bot lane very likely going to fall. Urel has to go to the top to help out. Make sure that's going to be a 5 versus 5 once that it happens. He's actually busy in the middle right now, so they might not commit to the fight after all. If Urel abandons mid lane and goes top, though, they will lose the bottom fort. So it's a question of how important that is to them. But I don't think they will be able to save it. Wall is destroyed. Punisher is nearly eliminated. Urel moves down to the bottom for just a second. Realizes it's absolutely mute. And therefore, just abandons that again. Situation as is. After 14 minutes, we have 5 kills to 2. We have a structural advantage for the Fanclub. Albeit a small one. And still see them slightly ahead in experience too. So definitely a game that's still salvageable for Feel the Heat, but there's a lot of pressure on the boys in blue right now. 25,000 damage for Tychus, as he's been able to get the minigun through a couple of times against Diablo. He's the top damage dealer in the game. 23,000 for Tracer, who's just been zipping around all game long, needling that damage in. Doing a great job on that. But with this, yeah, already starting to ping Lauber again. Be careful, bro. He, of course, wants to get some souls back, but there's the sleep dart. Dino wants to follow up, but doesn't get it. And at the bottom of the map, they're making a play for Blade. Blade is in trouble, gets the mastery out, and that's a kill. That's a kill right there. Clean kill, clean setup. Blade gets obliterated. But that's exactly the kind of play that you want to make. You isolate a target. Oh, beautiful setup by Junkrat here. Really nicely done. But I think Darkmok might get away here. Uses the medallion and is still getting wrecked. Well played. The counter kill against the red team. But they are still pressuring the fort and are nearly taking it down. Even forcing the ult out of Ultralisk here. Lauber also isolated and he goes down too. Dino with a couple of really neat plays as he's just getting those mines through time and time again. Pushed them out of position. Now we have nearly level 20 for the Fanclub. But of course, let's not forget that the blue team is starting to catch up in experience pretty quickly. They will have their own Storm talents in absolutely no time here. 4 kills to 6 right now. And some decent setups in this game. I mean, let's just take another look at the kill that we just saw. Right over here, this is where Diablo started to rotate down. And just look how they isolate Blade and start this entire setup. They move in, they know that Urel can easily sustain that, they get the kill, can walk out. Of course, eventually we see Urel fall too, but these kinds of plays is what makes the Fanclub so incredibly dangerous. Because they're always ready to just jump on a target, isolate it, and blow it to pieces. We have, with level 20 talents, now also the Heaven's Fury in. We got the big red button committed to. And Chromie, by the way, has gone into the Unraveling. So we see her with a lot more control now in those fights. Whereas Tracer has helped to take the bottom fort down. All the way up at the top, we have Zul and Urel pushing lanes out a little bit further, with the next shrine now spawning in the middle of the map. This is the big fight. I mean, level 20 talents are finally ready. The teams are setting up the lanes, which also means that Jojo moved down to the bottom of the map, used the ult, got the cooldown reduction, and is able to take now the camp without any problems. Another 6 seconds until the shrine is ready, and with that we're heading into what could... I don't really think it's going to be the last fight in the game, since both teams still have forts in the middle. But it's definitely going to be one of the impactful ones. And that's an early commitment to the big red button already, trying to play that one out. Jump into the back line, gets the cooldown reduction a little bit. Immediately the Gladiator's Medallion, so another big cooldown already burned. Svamkarota needs to be careful over here. And just look how Wit is pressuring that back line over and over again the entire time here. Exactly what he took that talent for. That ult. Uses his own Unstoppable as they're moving through and gets another ult through with insane cooldown reduction here. 17 to 29 points though. Laubers Fanclub is still ahead on the objective. But here comes the push as the blue team is trying to take over. And they're starting to close the gap quite quickly. Dino still up at the front. Darkmok is jumping in. Apocalypse zones them out. Forces them back. And another ult. And oh my god. Wit is setting his team up for one kill after another, but he gets attacked and could even fall here. Diablo is dead too, and we see another kill as Junkrat is also taken down. 7 kills to 6 now. The Fanclub, they are losing Diablo, they lose Rel, but Junkrat is down. Punisher is still pushing and is trying to get a bit done here. Chromie, on the other hand, yeah, she's gonna fall here, isn't she? No, Henning able to keep her in play. Yasuo goes down against Tracer. What a setup. All of a sudden, this game is all over the place. 4 versus 4, top lane pushing. Keep is gone. And the mid lane pushes as well. The keep is lost. The bottom lane is still pressured by Feel the Heat's catapult and camp, but I don't think it's gonna come to the keep. Chromie is already moving in to try and deal with this, but oh my god, that last fight went everywhere. Let's actually take a look at the finish on this one. I mean, there were some beautiful moves. Not only the jumps that we saw from Johanna, I think she got 3 of her ults through in this fight, but that double kill just as the red team claims the objective. Honestly, it might have even won the game. Just think about it. If both Diablo and Urel survive as the red team locks in the Punisher, they might have been able to go through the keep in the middle and maybe even go to the core. So, Feel the Heat at least being able to get those 2 guys, that helped a lot. Right now, we got 42,000 damage on Tracer, one of the 3 heroes that didn't die in this game yet. We have 150,000 siege damage for Jojo, who also hasn't fallen yet, with 40,000 damage on Tychus. So, there we go. Top side, that's where Urel sits tight. We have every single fort eliminated on the blue team, and we still have them with absolutely no control over the top lane. That's a huge problem. It's a massive problem. Problem for multiple reasons. First of all, there is still a fort for the red team, which means that every single lane or every single wave now spawns a catapult, whereas there's no catapult pressure whatsoever for Feel the Heat on the top lane. The next problem is that we're looking at the next shrine spawning at the bottom of the map, the farthest away from the top as possible. So if Laubers Fanclub, if they play their cards right, they could push the lane out a bit and create a ton of pressure here. It's one of the reasons why Feel the Heat is really trying to pressure this and force a fight before the objective spawns, but that was shut down pretty quickly. Junkrat and Jojo both commit to their ults. Low cooldowns, granted, also thanks to their level 20 talents, but they need to try and set something up here. This could be really difficult as the game continues. Top side, as you can tell, is already pushing. We're 20 minutes in, so if those catapults make it towards the core, that's going to be a huge problem. And that's what's going to happen eventually if the next objective spawns, and there's going to be a long and drawn out fight over that position. So right now it's not an issue, since they can easily sacrifice the time to send heroes topside and push this out. But they really have to push that lane out hard. And in an ideal world, they would like to take this camp, but that's still another 2 minutes off. And over here, there is a bruiser camp, so if the red team takes it before the next shrine spawns, it's going to be great for them. They're double checking also what's going on, because of course Feel the Heat know all of that. So they're checking the camp. They hope that they can invade this and maybe force a fight here. For Laubers Fanclub, the best course of action is to simply not engage into the fight right now, wait for the objective to spawn, make sure the top lane is pushing aggressively, and then try and delay the fight over the objective for as long as possible. If they do that, eventually there's going to be a situation in the game where Feel the Heat has to rotate someone away from the objective, or accept that they are going to have catapults on the core that potentially do a lot of damage. Because right now, first catapult is in, second catapult is on the way, and the camp has also been taken. So this is a fight that should be ended quickly by Feel the Heat, or they're going to run in trouble. They immediately go for the big red button here, and now we have the red team still dodging around this a little bit. They want to delay this for as long as they can. Already, Riptire's coming out again. They're trying to go for Dibbles a little bit. Darkmook is taking control. Wall stun. Wit is losing quite a bit of hit points. Third catapult has now spawned topside and is slowly making his way over, by the way. And down here, Yasuo is also taking a lot of damage, gets pushed into the APOC, but the grenade topping him up a little bit more. Dino low! And Dino's in trouble, so is Anna. All of them all of a sudden in trouble, and the top lane situation hasn't changed. 26, yeah, there's the kill. Junkrat goes down as Chromie is able to get the kill in, and the top lane is now pushing towards the core any second. Down here, they go for the objective, and it seems like the blue team might actually be able to get this done. 38 stacks against 13. The core under attack any second right now. Wit has to jump out. They get the objective, but they have to retreat right now and try to save their core. With 2 catapults on it and a third one moving in, there's not a lot of time left. Yeah, they have to retreat. They can't push with the objective. They lose a couple of points on the core. It's not a lot. It's only 6 of them. But it means that they cannot push with a Punisher that they just locked in. Nicely done here. Actually, nicely done by both teams. For Feel the Heat, it was really important that they take the objective and that they can defend at the top. Whereas for the Fanclub, they were able to defend this, and catapults will of course scale as the game continues. So in an ideal world, the Fanclub would have been able to take the objective too and then push this harder or get a few more kills. But they're pretty much walking away from this with both teams. I guess they're both not really too happy about it, but they haven't really gotten into a worse spot or anything. We have 9 kills against 6 overall. Top side, if the fort eventually gets taken out by Feel the Heat, that would be great. That would give them a little bit more wiggle room with the occasional catapult spawn on every 3rd wave. But yeah, the game is very, very back and forth right now, and we are 24 minutes in at this point. So everybody is still hoping for that one kill, that opportunity. Maybe a sleep dart from Ana, a follow-up with a good mine from Junkrat, isolating the target, using the bone prison, jumping onto it with Jojo, getting a quick kill. And of course on the other side, always these attempts of Tracer to move into the backline, get someone destroyed, maybe Urel jumping into. So tons of stuff here going on. Both teams are trying to play it safe while at the same time looking for that opportunity. Right now, Darkmok is still defending the top. The camp has, of course, earlier been taken. There's quite... Oh, Junkrat, no! They go for the camp, and the rat is down, and they want more. The APOC setup. Laubers screws it up a little bit as they're trying to go for the play here. Jojo is trying to jump out. Wit might be in trouble here. They get more damage in. And Wit is able to escape. They have only 4 heroes on the map, but both lanes are pushing. They got at least the objective. Now they lost Junkrat. He's going to be down for another 35 seconds. But the bot lane has to be defended against. Thankfully for the Fanclub, this wave pushes in before this can lock on to the keep. So they will be able to defend this completely. Now, there's also a little bit of a silver lining on the side of Feel the Heat. The next objective spawns topside, which means that the commanding position that the Fanclub has right now on the top lane doesn't really matter too much. What is a problem is that the fountain is still in play for the red team too. Because with that, jumping out again, Jojo using her panic button. But with the top fountain, if that doesn't get destroyed before the objective spawns, it just simply means that the Fanclub has an opportunity to fall back in the middle of the fight, tap the fountain, and then re-engage. That's definitely something that Feel the Heat doesn't have. Or, of course, simply pre-tap. Use an ability before you go in the fight, even if you're at full HP, tap it off, and the overheal is going to help you as you engage into the battle itself. So we are looking at an actually fantastic first game between those guys. Yeah, well, right now, what else do we get? We got the Shrine, already called. Now, of course, they are hoping to get a bit more pressure done here. 1 minute for the camp. And it seems like they're trying to commit to the bottom keep, and maybe even take the top fight a bit late. Yeah, Chrome is already trying to sniff this one out. Late is at the bottom of the map. And where are the Hearthstones? Yeah, not all of them. Only a few of them are retreating. It's a bit of a gamble of Feel the Heat, and right now it kind of backfired because Chromium was already holding the position. What does that mean? It means the blue team has a disadvantage at the top as they're trying to engage into the Shrine. That said, they did a very good job the entire time when they're fighting over the objective. But now Svamgrota slows them down. Nice! That's a freebie on the 20 points that we now have for the Fanclub. There's the jump on Deckard Kane again, the old man. But still, there's a big wave pushing towards the core. Let's not forget about that. There's a couple of catapults in this too. Shouldn't be able to end the game here. But we'll see how much damage they can do. Because this is starting to become problematic. That's 3 catapults and a shaman camp. I think Feel the Heat outplayed themselves a little bit in this one. They're losing out on the objective now. With that feint that they used at the bottom of the map that backfired so hard, and they couldn't even fight for the Punisher because they had to defend their core as well. So they kind of outplayed themselves here. That's gonna be rough. They have to bait the Punisher into the middle and try and defend it there, and hope that there's no pressure at all for the Fanclub to go for core. And we're 27.5 minutes into the game right now. So this is tricky. The bot lane is going to eventually destroy the keep of the Fanclub, but I'm not quite sure if they can defeat this Punisher here. They're trying to bait it in the middle. They're actually doing a great job initially, but the red team is already on the core here, and the fight is on. And this is the fight for the game. They go for Deckard Kane, and he's down! Kane is down. That's actually the first step here for them. Bottom keep is, by the way, about to fall, so if they can hold the core, that would be great, but it's not going to be easy by any means. Tracer is about to die. Diablo is low. Tracer down. Diablo down. Guys, they can hold this. Can they? I don't really know. 20%? Nah, there's no way. There's no way. Chromie is dead. They get all of them. The catapult. Someone has to kill the catapult, but it's too late. The fan club with the lead in the best of 3 series. Okay. Yeah, there we have it. I calculated. Enough damage, and that's all that they needed. So, yeah. Nicely done. Good job. Yeah, for just a second, I thought maybe, just maybe, they can make something work. But no. No. So, the fan club in the lead. The 1-0. And let's see what we have here. Okay. No second map yet, but yeah. No, but a good job by them. Good attempt at a defense, yeah, but again, they outplayed themselves a little bit when they were hoping to draw everybody down on the other side so that they can go for the objective, and that kind of backfired because it was already anticipated. So that was problematic, but generally speaking, good attempt. So, yeah. Alright, let me see. Do we have another map already set up? I don't think that the map is ready yet. No, it isn't. Could be in a moment. Shouldn't really take them too long. Okay. Alrighty. So. Yeah, exclamation mark bracket, guys, as usual, if you want to have a look at the bracket, how we got here. And, of course, there's a giveaway too. Exclamation mark giveaway. All the commands for the links you can see down here. As we are waiting for the next map to be hosted. Now we can go. Catapult, yeah, not the Punisher with half health. Catapults at this state of the game do more damage to the core than the Punisher. And the catapult dies faster. So the first thing that you should take down is the catapult. Punisher takes you much longer to take down, and while you take the Punisher down, the catapult shoots. So the catapult, you can burn that down within half a second if you focus it with a damage spell. So always kill the catapults first if you have anything that can take it down. And then afterwards, in a situation like this, you can focus on the Punisher. But yes, catapults first. They do insane amounts of damage, and they're insanely fragile. So that's the best trade-off that you can go for. Okay, so Volskaya Foundry is our next map. Okay, we should prep for this. Okay. Yes, that works. Cool. Host. Our admin is in. Alright, he's gonna leave. Then we get the last player in. Yeah, good. On it. Yes, I think we also have all of the casts already. Cool. And again, the plan to my knowledge is afterwards to go into the third place decider and then have the grand final. Grand final is the best of 5. Everything else is the best of 3 today. Okay, Darkmook is here. Yasu just joined. We are ready, I think. Okay, so Grota is captain. That was the last piece of the puzzle. And now if both of the teams are ready, we can go into game number 2. Yeah, we're quick. Good setup here. Teams are ready pretty swiftly. And let's have at it. Are we waiting for someone? Well. Yeah, I'm not quite certain what we're waiting for. I think Laubers Fanclub is ready. From the way that they've been acting. Either way, we're ready for the map. Whenever the teams are good to go, we can start. We have Volskaya Foundry as our second map, and we can jump in. Do you think the in-houses have changed the meta in Europe at all? Not really. I think if anything, the in-houses have changed the meta in North America a little bit. Is it true that one can see his future when looking at your bald head? There's a rumor that you can see your future and you have good luck for years when you rub my bald head, but then again, a lot of people, the problem is that when you try, you die a second later. So that's the trade-off. So if you can find a way around that, then you can see your future. But yeah, if proper polished. Yeah. By the way, if anybody is watching right now that hasn't watched in a while, I uploaded a new cycling video. So if you want to see some of the landscape here in Spain and where we usually go for cycling, I think !cycling is the command. It should lead to the newest video. If not, I'm sure one of the mods can help you out with that. But yeah, I have actually a couple of new cycling videos that I uploaded. From Spain, just to give you a bit of an idea. I toyed around with the GoPro there. It's usually a lot of editing work, much more than with the hero stuff, especially since I have the power, speed, and like distance overlays and all of that. But if you want to have a look at that, !cycling should give you the newest video, I think. I think we're waiting for Swung Brother, honestly. Well, actually, he just signaled he's here. The future is death, exactly. Yeah, the new road bike video, that should be the one. Yeah. In the same playlist, by the way, there is also a video of a ride that I did with my dad in Germany. So if you're a little bit more interested in the German landscape, you can check that out too, but I did not use the same overlays. So there's two of them. So the playlist contains quite a couple of videos. The one with my dad is what's actually a little bit more personal. If you want to check that out, you can. But yeah, so those are two videos. And of course, Strava and the route itself are linked in the video description for everybody that's interested in this. It seems like the players are ready. So, well, at least Feel the Heat is ready. Okay. Reed is now also asking, he's like, what's going on, guys? You ready or not? Which is a very good question, because yes, okay, both are ready. Let's go. Game on, boys and girls! We have the second map in this best of 3 series, the semi-final of the Ice Cold Europe Cup by Chili Mountain, coming up right now. We got Feel the Heat against Laubers Fanclub, and on Infernal Shrines, the Fanclub was able to lock in the victory. So, yeah. What do we have this time? I mean, it's a very different map, and there could be a couple of heroes that we have actually not seen today in the tournament just yet, given the map and the circumstances over here. Interestingly enough, I mean, we had even a ban against Sergeant Hammer previously. This is the map where Rich back then in the days actually brought Sergeant Hammer back, which was kind of cool. But yeah, let's see what the fan club is going to do here, and of course how Feel the Heat is also going to react to this. On the last map, I gotta say, they looked good for a long time, but it was just a back and forth, and towards the end, the situation on the map was a bit better for the fan club, and they took full advantage of that, so kudos to them. But as we're heading in, there is the Junkrat ban. Yeah, Junkrat is really good here. Dino was already super annoying with Junkrat on the last map, so not something that you want to go up against again. Especially since all of that displacement around the fight over the objective can be super annoying and lead to a quick kill too. But let's have a quick look of how exactly we're going to see the bans come through. I mean, D.Va has been mainly banned or played so far, so she has a huge involvement at this point. Chromie gets banned again. This is of course another map where she gets lots of values and she can just poke from the distance the entire time. And I gotta say, I mean, you might not be able to really get a lot out of the temporal loop, but if you can trade the temporal loop against the Gladiator's Medallion, that's always a win on the cooldown, of course, that you get with that. So that's actually not too bad there either. But let's see. There's the Medivh bands. They're targeting Ultralisk. First pick is, of course, on the side of the fan club. And now one of the bigger questions is, will D.Va this time be banned out again? Or are we going to get a chance to see her in action once more? We saw her in the first semi-final in one of the games. She was banned in the other. Was actually banned now twice on Infernal Shrines, but made it through on the second map. Not so in this one. Okay, D.Va, yeah, nothing for her. She gets banned out again. Poor girl went from being not played because she was useless to getting not played because she's all of a sudden useful. So, yeah. Situation didn't really change. The reasons why that changed, but that was about it. Okay, so, first pick. Garrosh. Alright. Yeah, which leaves us with Yrel up, with Imperius up. So, that's a lot of frontliners that you can already take here. Yrel has been an absolute pest the entire time. You have a goat infestation, pretty much, in the Nexus. And Darkmook would probably be happy to lock her in again, but I really don't think that Igor's gonna get the chance this time. So, let's see. Yeah, there's first of all... Yeah, okay, they go for Imperius and for Zul. So they actually leave Yrel up for now, which means she's still a possible pick here. And she is pretty annoying on this one too. I mean, Yrel just has great zone control in general, and she can really put pressure onto any kind of backline hero too. So we could see her again here. But the Imperius setup together with Zul is already super strong because, again, Imperius is Imperius. We don't really have to talk too much about him. Zul allows you to get a lot of wave clear in, and the big fights over any kind of objective are also pretty neat there. Swamgrotta gets his Zarya. Okay, so Zarya comes in. That's actually going to be super interesting now on the damage side. She was banned out on the last one, so that was a situation where I feel that he just said, like, yeah, we don't really want to deal with this. Now they don't have another choice, so let's see if that's useful for them or not. But yeah, they have to deal with this somehow and break through the shields here. Alright, when it comes to the bans, yeah, there's the Yrel ban. Again, it's a bit of the trade-off, right? So if you want to take your Yrel, you have to take it in the first rotation, I suppose. Because if you wait until the third ban comes and the hero gets obliterated. I'm actually a little bit surprised that she wasn't picked away. But now that we have our last ban coming in, you look over to Ultralisk. You already banned out Medivh. I mean, he's been playing a lot of Karrigan. Not really sure if they're too worried about that. But if there's a Karrigan on top of what we're seeing here, there would be a lot of CC that they can still use. Kind of doubt it a bit. Tracer instead. They are looking at Dino and they're saying, like, alright, Zeratul, Tracer, what could really be a combo that is going to wreck us here? So they get rid of Tracer real quickly, but that keeps us with the double pick, and Dino is the wild card. I mean, he is going to be the one that obviously is playing the mobile assassin if they decide to go for one. And with Tracer now being eliminated, he could still play his Zeratul, of course, if he really wanted to. A little bit doubtful at this point, but well, we get Cassia, and he's actually one of the honestly, in a competitive game, the most stacks I've ever seen was Dino playing in Volskaya Foundry with Cassia. I think he had 160 or 180 stacks towards the end on the level 1. Now, it doesn't mean that he has to go for the stacking here, but he's done it in the past, and he had some insane stacks. He had really solid damage on those Lightning Furies. So for like a top level play, that amount was pretty crazy. Alright, we get a Blaze this time for Darkmook since he can't get Yrel, and we have Swamgrotta on Jaina, meaning that Anna's nano boost and the shields on Zarya is going to put her into a prime position to get the damage numbers out. And what else are we going to get here? Ultralisk, he's the last one missing. And what is he going to get? What are we missing actually on the end? I could actually go for more damage now too. Maiev! Ah. Ultralisk Maiev, of course. Little brain fart here on my end. We're set, ladies. So, we got Maiev, we got Zul and Imperius, and Anduin is coming in together with that. And on the other side, our Zarya combo that was actually denied in the last game. It seems like this time it's actually going to be Rutsu who plays Zarya, since Swamgrotta is going to jump on Jaina. And with that, we have map number 2 coming up. Volskaya Foundry, next map here in the semifinal. Okay. Let's go. Benched on his birthday. Who would never bench X-Ray? Game on, everybody! Feel the Heat against Laubers Fanclub. And Feel the Heat is going to look for the win here, of course. If they want to stay in the tournament, well, maybe not in the tournament, but if they want to have a chance to take first place, then they need to win 2 in a row now. We got Yasuo for the blue team on Anduin, Wid on Zul, Blade on Imperius, Ultralisk on Maiev, and Dainu on Cassia. Lauber for the red team is playing Garrosh in the second game. Volskaya Foundry, we have Rutsu on Zarya, Svamkorota on Jaina, Ana played by Henning, and Darkmorg is playing Blaze. Yeah, what's actually happening with Ultralisk here, I'm a little bit amazed. This is game number 2, and so far he hasn't disconnected once. I mean, this is actually kind of crazy. Apparently someone got a proper internet connection and nearly died here, but Anduin comes in and saves his ass. So yeah, nicely done by Yasuo. Ultralisk is alive, and that little brawl that we saw in the middle of the map is without any real consequence. The stacks on the side of Dainu, as I said, he had an insane amount the last time that I saw him with Cassia on Volskaya Foundry. Let's see if he can repeat that again today. They're already starting to jump down here a little bit. Yeah, with 20 seconds missing for the camps to come up. Maybe try and force a bit of a fight here. Talking about forcing fights. Ooh, Ultralisk topside. Barely escaping, as he was once again thrown in by Lauber here. But already a very aggressive stance in the early game by the red team, as they are starting to look for kills here, trying to establish a dominant position on the map, and so far they're doing well with it. Now, of course, the camps are now up on both sides, and that means that it's time to lock in a couple of items. We got over on the right side. It's kind of cute how Garrosh is trying to help out here. Someone should help Blaze on the other hand, because he is also a little bit low, but maybe they overstayed just a tiny little bit. No, not quite. Okay, still good to go over here. No kills here. A little bit of an aggressive early game. No kills that we can see just yet. There's still a rotation towards the top. Normal setup. Both teams with their turrets. And of course now the focus of attention is pretty quickly shifting towards the support camp, as both teams are going to be trying to lock in the third item for themselves. This is also a situation that gives Dainu more opportunities to get stacks together. He's sitting at 8 right now. Wid is a bit low on his main tank Zul here, as Blade is this time playing Imperius. They are trying to go for the item. And who's gonna lock it in? It's Lauber. Able to take it. Ana goes down, and they're trying to follow up with a second kill against Dainu. Shut down here, but the turnaround kill against Garrosh. Oh my god. Garrosh down, and Darkmorg missing the mark here as he's trying to turn with the jet propulsion and hopes for another kill. Item gets used. Yeah, and that was actually a pretty cool trade between the two teams here. So, yep, with this little setup, as you can see, the counter kill against Garrosh, but he used the item before, so it isn't lost. And then the miss on Blaze. He hits one target in the back, but of course he was hoping for more. He was hoping to set up a kill for his own team. When the dust settles, we still see Feel the Heat with 2 kills to 0. Now more that they can actually take over here. So level 4 abilities are by now in. We have for Jaina the Arcane Intellect, the Speed Barrier, of course. One of the most powerful combos with Zarya is still her Speed Barrier on level 4 together with Garrosh, because it allows him to just race car into the opponent's backline and flip a target into the team. And this is actually a true and tried Laubers Fanclub original. They used that for the first time on Volskaya Foundry. It was ages ago, and it was super popular, and that led to a lot of Zarya kills then. Talking about kills, Ultralisk nearly getting killed here, but he is like a cat with 9 lives. It's like the 3rd or 4th time that he escapes sure death, whereas Jaina at the top gets locked down, literally locked into a corner, and then obliterated. So that's now 3 kills to 0. And Feel the Heat is opening this game up with a lot of real solid kills. I mean, they haven't really taken a massive lead in experience or anything, but they are now ahead on in kills. Get a bit more control, and are now slowly starting to take also control over the objective once more. So the situation for them isn't really too shabby, considering that they have to win 2 games in a row now if they want to make it to the grand final. If not, then they're gonna play for 3rd place here only. So 3 kills to 0 right now, level 7 abilities for both teams. And also here, the setup for the next turret. Off we go. Yeah, right now we got the little play on the left side too, as both teams want to get the second turret. We have 15 stacks by now on Cassia, on her level 1. So Dino's slowly starting to get some additional damage in. That flip once more, and Anduin with the immediate save. That's one of the beautiful things if you have an Anduin player going up against Garrosh. Whenever that first flip happens, he can come in with the trade and rescue the target. One of the main reasons why I think Yasuo actually went for this one too. Wit is also getting a flip in again. This time the cooldown is not ready, and that leads to the death of Zul. First kill for the fan club right here. Nice. And that could be the first objective too. Despite the fact that they're still behind in kills. Oh, are they though? Yes, they are. They lose another one. Uh-oh. Do they even get to the Punisher Protector? They're losing everything. Yeah. What are you going to do with the Protector when your opponent just simply kills all of you? So that fight, I mean, the Protector's on the ground, and it doesn't matter at all because Feel the Heat just kills everybody that tries to enter it. I gotta admit, this is the first time on that level that I've seen that. So level 10 abilities are there. We have 6 kills for 1. And this is a bit nuts. Okay. So, yeah, the Protector doesn't do anything. Honestly, I think this is the first time that I've seen on this level of play the first Protector drop and they can't enter it. They're literally just waiting it out right now. This is the best Protector defense I've ever seen. I still can't really believe it. They also have, of course, now a level advantage because they got all of these kills in. Can you imagine how annoying that must be when you win the objective and you can't use it? I mean, it was absolutely perfect here. So, level 10 abilities are finally ready on both sides. But that was definitely meme-worthy right there. So, you win the objective, but then you can't use it. Good job. Locked down hard. I mean, either way, we have now also 28 stacks for Cassia. Keep that in mind. So, it's not only that they lost so many heroes, but it's also that Cassia just got a lot of stacks in. And she gets saved! What? No! There's the kill. Alright, that was a fun one too. Actually, we're going to take another look at this. Look at this one. So first of all, they rotate up top to take Cassia down. Then they come in, the taunt comes through. Then Anduin says, not on my watch, saves her. And just a second later, there's the kill as they're moving in with another party grenade. So Dino dies eventually, but he's still sitting on 30 stacks, which isn't too bad. We have the nano-boosted Ana trying to put some pain onto Zul. And Laubers is also not really looking too healthy anymore over here. Ultralisk comes in, the cage is down. Oh, Wit! Oh, the end of Zul. Wit is dead. Dino comes in a bit too late. And now they're going for another kill. And they are gonna drop. Yes, Maiev. Maiev has at least a counter kill against Jaina, but holy macaroni, baby. These fights are starting to become spicy over here. I mean, damn. Oh my god, the heal dart! And the attempt to go for Anduin. The problem is that the red team is also a little bit low, and that's the end of Blaze. Yeah, it looked good for them. They were trying to get the kills, but instead they lose too. What's going on here? I mean, damn, son. This is like aggression all over the place. I mean, just look at that last fight here. So this setup was just crazy. So Maiev was trying to jump out, gets burned down, she dies, and they're turning it against Jaina. What a brawl. Just fight after fight after fight. And the same thing happens to the blue team now. They try to invade the bottom and go for the objective, or sorry, for the item, but then they lose Imperius, they nearly lose Cassia, and of course they didn't grab the turret either. I mean, seriously, it just comes from one move after another. It's nuts at this point. It's absolutely nuts. 40 stacks for Cassia. Objective is spawning. Both teams on level 13 talents. This is starting to get nasty. I mean, it's 9 kills to 5. I mean, we have 14 kills and we're only 8.5 minutes into the game. So, what's happening here? Damn. They're going for the camp. So they're gonna grab now the one to the top right, top left, of course, the same picture, unfolding in front of us as Ultralisk is starting to go for the control. We have top side, a little bit more pressure by Lauber, who with the speed barrier is trying to move forward, but Blade doesn't step out far enough. but the objective control, at least initially, goes to the Fanclub. Now they are still a level behind, but since there's no risk really of level 13, that's the thing. Ah, and there it is. I've been asking earlier already what's going on with Ultralisk over here, since Ultralisk didn't disconnect once, and then in game number 2, there it is. The disconnect is there. Honestly, that is just the perfect proof that it's really Ultralisk playing the hero. The thing is, Ultralisk could never account share. It could never happen. You always know that it's him when those lags are happening right there. So at this point, we're still sitting at the bottom, just to give us a bit of an idea of what's going on there. The good thing for the blue team is how much control they already have over the bot lane. Them taking the fountain down here is actually huge, because it means a third objective is going to be advantageous for Feel the Heat, unless, of course, the Fanclub can come back and also take down the bot lane fountain here. So there's another thing. A little bit of a play here in the middle against Darkmog. That didn't really do anything. Another flip against Blade topside, though. He's not the only one. They're trying to go for Dino as well. The turn attempt, the cage, and the kill. 1, 2, 3, and Dino survives. Dino survives. Easy triple kill. And now the 4th hero falling. 13 kills to 5. Absolute domination in the team fights right now. Yeah, that was just another great move, and they use now the position on the map to instantly go into the middle and take down the fort over here. 4 heroes are down. They have a 2-level lead now. They're 8 kills ahead. They go for the fort. They have Imperius at the top. Maiev is dealing with the top fort. They have full control over pretty much the entire game here. The Fanclub is incredibly behind. They're losing structures all over the place. The bottom fountain has already been destroyed. And with this big of a lead, we could even see Feel the Heat try to go for keep here. They are in an incredible position right now. Absolute incredible position here. Well, let me take a quick look at what the damage output here is. 36,000 for Cassia. Dino crushing it again. And is the Fanclub really going to try and fight here? Can they? That's a bit of a ballsy move, but I mean, at this point, you gotta pick your poison, right? If you take one fight, but Lauber gets blown up within half a second. The nano boost, the Jaina doesn't do jack shit over here, so Amkora is trying to do what he can, and he's leading the damage on his team, but he's just not able to get the kill. So now with 92% already accomplished, Ultralisk is eager to get the final touches onto the objective. But this is getting nasty. Anduin, by the way, is the only one that hasn't died yet, which makes perfect sense, since the best defense that Anduin can muster is running away as fast as possible from any fight that is happening in the vicinity. That's what he's known for. So since he's never really close enough to the action to be in danger, he is, of course, still alive throughout the entire game here. It's called the French defense, and Anduin is an absolute master at it. Yeah, obviously they're going to go for keep. What else are you going to do? The bottom fort has also been eliminated. Zulus, by the way, still pushing the bot lane. Lauber over here also down. And yeah, they are speed running it hard at this point. I mean, yeah, that's 15 kills to 5. They still don't have a level 16 talent. They're 3 levels ahead right now. The keep is gone. And I guess they're going to try and go core if they can get another kill at least. Maybe not. Maybe a little bit too risky. Why risk it? If your opponent wipes you on the core, then it's a bit of a different story, but yeah. So, well, we got Numbing Blast in, we got the active reload over here, the camp is taken away now too. And with that, I mean, how do you get back into this? The only thing that the Fanclub can hope for is now forcing a fight at 16 talents and dominate it. Literally the only chance they have. Nothing else that's left to them. Sleep darts, not even that setup works for them here. And yeah, they just can't do anything. The problem is, of course, that Feel the Heat is very unwilling to give them that fight. Why would they? All they gotta do is wait until they have level 20 and then play around the advantage again. They already have the structural advantage. They have still fountains on every single lane. There's absolutely no problem for them to hold this. That fountain here is gonna play, in a potential fight, a huge role over the bottom, but even outside of that, they have item control. Level 20 is going to be there. It's a pretty sexy setup that we're now seeing for Feel the Heat. And the damage output on Cassia is also not too shabby. I mean, with 62 stacks for him, he is looking pretty good right now. 48,000 puts him easily into the top damage position. Dino doing fairly well at stacking. Problem for him is that the opponent's team dies too quickly, so that doesn't allow him to stack enough. But now that they have level 20, they can easily siege up on either the keep, wait for the objective. I mean, they can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want. You can't... They're in the best position possible. So they can siege up now at the bottom of the map, slowly poke this down as much as possible, try to get a few more stacks together for Dino. If someone hides behind the wall, they're already burning this down quickly, which is of course making a protector push even more dangerous. And yeah, things are rough, really rough for the fan club. The fan club is pretty much just sitting there and taking the beating and hoping for any kind of opportunity to turn it. Any kind of moment where they can go in, flip a target with Laubers' help, and then burn it down with a nano-boosted Jaina. But up to this point, Feel the Heat has done an incredible job of just shutting all those attempts down. And yeah, the poke just continues. And let's not forget that there's also a top lane that pushes consistently against the core now. Jaina has to actually split off, and she's now visible on the map, which allows Feel the Heat to move in immediately and at least poke a bit more damage in. And they don't even have to win it right here. If they take the keep down or at least poke it down, then they can just wait for the objective and try and win with that. So the pressure is really on the fan club to turn it around at some point and try and force something here, and that's not going to be easy. Top lane catapults are soon going to be on the core. Thankfully for the fan club, it's kind of early in the game still, only 15 minutes, so it's not like they're scaling hard. But this keep has taken some damage, the wall is gone, and now the objective is spawning, which allows Zul to move back right away and take this. And there's of course additional stacks now for Dainu as well. They still have the 2-level lead, they still have the level 20 advantage, and therefore they can also commit to the item camp. They have 2 turrets. There's currently no item for Laubers fan club, and since they had to send Blaze topside to make sure that those catapults don't end up at the core, it's a 5 versus 4 too. So Laubers fan club is just sitting there taking it. They can't do really anything. I feel they have to fight now. There's obviously always like the 2 schools in those situations where on the one hand you're saying, okay, we have to take a bad fight eventually, let's just take it now when they don't have the objective. The other logic is that you try to get level 20 so that you at least have it for the defense. But I'm not sure if they have the time to get level 20 before the defense is happening. So that's a big problem now. Camp at the top gets claimed. They are already moving down to the bottom and start to take the keep down, and the faster they burn this down, the better for the protector push. And that protector is going to come in eventually, and the keep is likely going to be completely destroyed, or they're going to get this one. Catapult is going to end it. So the keep is down, the protector is in, and yeah, level 20 is still half a level away. This is looking bad. This is looking really bad for the fan club. I don't think that's going to be possible. They're going to try. 20? It's close. They should get it with the tickle experience in just a moment. You still don't have it. Quick picks on the talents are going to be super crucial here. And they don't have it as the fight starts. 20 isn't there yet. Now finally it's there. And they pick it as quickly as they can. But a couple of tools have already been used. And Lauber is down. Lauber eliminated. Protector on the core, and they're starting to lose Ana too. Henning is already on the run. The cage was down. The defense is ready, but it's not strong enough. The Protector is murdering this. Shields are gone. The core down to 20%. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is victory for Feel the Heat as they tie this series and force map number 3 in this semifinal. GG. Well played. All right. Okay. No, but I expected more from the top of the top. I mean, you can prove us how bad they are by playing against them and get your ass kicked in 5 minutes, but yeah. That's just when your draft doesn't work out for you. And that just sometimes happens. You see 2 top sports teams, and sometimes one team just dumps the other one. So, I don't know what you expected. We got a 1-1 in this series, so let's see what we're gonna have for map number 3. Yeah, exactly. Watch the macro play. But yeah, all Grandmasters in chat. So far so good. Let's see what we're gonna get for our 3rd map. And also, what are we gonna get as next one here? Yeah, exactly. The winning team has also good players. It's not only the other one. Okay, so lobby isn't up yet, but I need to get the map, so I can adjust that on the overlay here. Yeah, Ultralis Mayev, but honestly, it's not only that. Anduin worked so well against the setup. If you have the Zarya and Garrosh combo, and then Anduin just pulls the target out whenever it's in danger, that was actually hugely impactful for them. They couldn't get any kills. And a few of these team fights, of course, just murdered them towards the end there. So that was kind of crazy too. Right. Do we have a lobby? Not yet. Maybe we can do something over here. There we go. Lobby. And our map is Towers of Doom. Alrighty. Okay, so, oops. Let's add this real quickly. Towers of Doom. Alright. Can I... Alright. 1-1. Overlay is done. Let's go. I think our admin is doing this again.
Your loyalty is
Texas,
noted.
thank you. Thanks a lot for the subs. Appreciate that. Thanks, my friend.
Your loyalty is noted.
Hofit got one. The rest I don't know, I have to admit. Yeah, thank you very much for the support, guys. Thanks a lot. It's very much so appreciated. Thanks for keeping, or helping keeping your heroes alive here. Alright, so we have everybody in except for one player, I think.
Your loyalty is noted.
And then we can go for the rest. Alright. Who's missing? Yeah, this is a best of 3. Semi-finals are best of 3. Third place decider is a best of 3. Grand final is a best of 5. Oh, thank you. 2 gifted subs. Thanks a lot. The fiddle. Thanks a lot, my friend. Yeah, and we actually got a couple of known people in chat that just got a sub gifted. Sane Riz, Mosby. Nice. Good job. Thanks a lot, Fiddle in Texas. Thanks, guys. And thanks, Janet, for the bits here. Okay. Someone is walking behind my cottage. Yeah. We're bigfooting it here today.
Your loyalty is noted.
Can never be too careful, right? Okay. So...
Your loyalty is noted.
So much loyalty. Dodging subs left and right. Yeah, that's just what happens. It's, by the way, also still September. If you ever thought about subbing to the channel here, this is the best month that you can do it. Exclamation mark September, guys, is a command. So Twitch has a lot of discounts in September for that stuff. So if you ever thought about doing that, Slytherin, thank you. Thanks a lot. 22 months. Another one that has nearly 2 years in. I think we have most of the players ready. I don't think all of them are good to go yet. Texas even giving one to Impact now. Thank you. Damn, bro, you have 346 there. Jesus. Let me see. I think the players are in. Okay, we have the players in, but I don't think they're ready to go yet. Soon. And Towers is actually a pretty sexy map for the last one, so that's always a lot of comeback potential that we have here. Blade is just checking with them as well if they're ready. Is Blade? No, Dino's house. Okay. Well, I think we have all the casters in, so ready to rock and roll, I suppose. I don't think that Laubers Fanclub is ready yet. At least they haven't responded yet. Okay. Let's see. No. Yeah, we're waiting for the fan club. Now we're gonna go. Yep. Seems like they're ready. Well, maybe not. Bigfoot is an OP tank. Towers of Doom, game number 3, the final map in the best of 3 series here in our second semi-final. Yeah, let's get ready to rumble, everybody. One of these two teams is going to make it to the grand final, and the other team is going to fall into the third place decider. So we had two very, very different games so far. The fan club got a little bit wrecked on the second map. Let's be honest about this for just a second. But right now, we got ETC banned immediately. Towers of Doom, of course, one of the fantastic maps in the map pool where you can always have big comebacks, even if initially you lose out on the early game or even the mid game. Late game can change everything on this map. Now we have on the third map, the third ban against Medivh. Chromie gets banned again, and that leaves us with the question, is D.Va gonna make it through the ban phase, yes or no? This is the 5th game that we actually have today. So far, D.Va was banned 3 times, played once. Now the big question, are they gonna let her through? That's the big one. D.Va, yes or no? What are we looking at here right now? Now, with Towers of Doom, you could also see a bit of a global focus, depending on what the teams are gonna try and go for here. But time will tell. There's the Zul ban. No Zul. D.Va is open. D.Va is actually open, and let's see what we're gonna get to. Insta-pick. Bam. Ready to win. Oh, toxic D.Va over here for Blade, apparently. Going for the green tint right now. Yeah, so we got D.Va in our third game. If I'm not mistaken, she actually won the last one. So at least today she has a 100% win rate. Let's see if that continues. But how exactly is the fan club going to counter that? I mean, if you ban out Zul, and at this point in the game, you know that D.Va is going to be picked. So I guess they have some kind of strategy around that. They might go... Ooh, I love it! Abby! Yes! Slap him, baby! Slap him! Nice! We got the Slabatha in-game. And we got Greymin. So a good copy for them already. And the Abatha setup. For the late game, that could be really cool. But of course, the question also arises immediately how they're going to play around the entire D.Va setup that we'll see for Feel the Heat. Because you can go for a little bit of displacement, so they can simply deal with the bomb here. Dino and also... Well, Dino on Cassia for the second time in a row now. And in addition to that, we also have Yasu with Lucio over here. Alright. Okay. Let's go and check this out. I'm intrigued already. I'm already a fan. We got D.Va on one side, we got Abatha on the other. Like, I'm a happy panda. Jojo gets banned out. And what's the last ban for Feel the Heat? Because, I mean, right now you still can ban out tanks. You could ban the support here, depending what you're afraid of. I mean, anything that really combos off well with Abatha is, of course, a little bit annoying. So, yeah. Yeah, Abatha gets pretty much banned here. It's a little bit of a weird setup. If you don't feel that your opponent has an Abatha playstyle, then you usually don't even go for it. But against Abatha players, it's been more or less an insta-ban on this map here. A huge map, have a huge impact, can get the side so going. There's the ban on the support, is already kind of hinted at. I mean, again, Rhaegar, if he comes in with a quick... if he comes in with a quick Bloodlust, for example, when you have a double Grain. Can you imagine a double Greymin with Bloodlust? I mean, holy shit. So yeah, that would be nasty. But either way, there's our quick double pick on the red team side. Muradin, dwarf action, okay. And Stukov. Muradin with an Abatha symbiote is also annoying as hell. Like, absolutely annoying. So, they have already 2 heroes that can really benefit from the symbiote a lot. So, we'll see how this is gonna pan out right now, because things are looking pretty fun. I like this. That's actually a really, really fun one. Last 2 picks are coming in. So Ultralisk and Wit. Do we get Maiev again? Yes, we do! And we get Tyrael together with it. That's of course the beauty of having the medallion these times. You can self-unstoppable, you can use the unstoppable on yourself and then get the ult out. So it's pretty much a guaranteed sanctification. And that together with Mayev's cage can be pretty nasty. Now, how D.Va fits into all of this, we'll see. She can definitely create a lot of space, but that is already a fun setup. Guys, this game is going to be good. We are looking at the third game in a best-of-3 in the second semi-final of the Ice Cold Cup by Chili Mountain. And there's Zeratul. Zeratul with Abathar and Greymane Abathar. This is getting spicy, guys. We're heading into Towers of Doom. Map number 3 with a pretty sexy setup. Let's see which team takes the win over here. Let's go. Alright. Also, we got a hype train going. Thanks a lot, guys, for everybody that pushes in. Lucy actually made it. I didn't even see you today, Lucy. I thought when I saw that coming in that you're going to lose your train today. But apparently not so much. The scam train. I would call it rather the support train, but yeah. Either way, thanks a lot, guys, for the support. Really appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot, seriously. Helps a lot to keep the channel coverage, and especially the heroes coverage alive here. Alright, let's check this out, see what we're gonna get, but Zeratul with Symbiote, I mean, this is aggressive. This is really aggressive with Abathar. Abathar combos are always amazing. So, we'll see what they can do with that. Yeah, Abathar, he's insane. If you have a team that can play Abathar well, but of course, yeah, there's also a few downsides to it. Game number 3, the final map. Which team makes it to the grand final? Which team loses out on that opportunity to win the tournament and will instead end up in the third place decider? We have on the left side Dino for the blue team on Cassia, Blade on D.Va, Yasu on Lucio, Wit on Teriel, and Ultralisk is on Maiev for the second time in a row. On the right side of the map, though, on our map here, we got the Fanclub with Lauber on Muradin. He's gonna love that symbiote support. Rutzo's gonna love that symbiote support for Zeratul. Henning on Stukov, Svamgrotta on Greymane. Copy time with Darkmok himself rocking Abathar. It's Slabathar time. Slap him, baby. Slap him. Off we go. Level 1, the pressurized glance right away. Of course, in the early game, that also means that you have only 4 hit points in a fight. Which means that this early in the game, you gotta be a little bit careful with this. But yeah, Abathar teams have always been terrifying. I think Abathar is one of the heroes that marked one of the biggest differences between European and North American meta for a long time. European teams, especially in the times of HGC, very much so respected Abathar. Heavily banned the hero out on big maps because of all the value that he can give you. Whereas in North America, Abathar was mostly ignored. For most of the time of HGC, North American teams didn't really respect Abathar enough and oftentimes paid the price also at bigger tournaments. But in Europe, the hero was always a huge deal. But it's also a hero that is very... It's very characteristic if your team is an Abathar team, yes or no. So that's always the gamble that you have to make on bigger maps. And of course, Tolo, we see that sometimes too. These days, Abathar doesn't get banned out as reliably as he did before. Oh, Lauber shut down right there. Beautiful boop by Lucio. Making sure that the jump did not go over the wall, but Abathar, with the help on the pressurized glance, was able to keep him alive. But still a bit of a spicy moment here that could have turned against the Muradin player. So we got 6 stacks already for Cassia. And Cassia, of course, is now also in a situation where, at least initially, she is probably not going to get as many stacks through as she usually would be able to, simply because there's the additional hit point missing, the additional body missing in the game. But that will change later after we have level 10. There's our level 4 talents already chosen. Still a little bit of poking happening. Abathar in the meantime sitting in the middle, and Lauber again heavily focused over here. The dwarf is able to jump out, but Svamgrotta might now be the one in trouble. And there's the kill. Well played, especially by Lucio. Yasu moving in and just booping him back into the action, using the displacement to ensure that Greymane goes down. Nicely done. So, we got on level 4 the Thunderburn, so we're going to see the healing static on level 13. We got again the full-on setup with Cleave that we're getting here. Well played for them too. And the aggressive jump at the bottom. This is one of the cool things that you can actually do when you're up against an Abathar team. You just ruin them in the early game. And with Muradin now falling in the bot lane, pretty much getting converted already, that's exactly what happens here. But then again, Zeratul is back to business and he wants to go for Ultras, but they lose him too! Zeratul is dead as well. Maiev with the big boy plays over here. Nicely done. Really well done. So that is a lot of damage on the bot lane. 3 kills to 0, a 1 level lead, and this is exactly how you play this out. Well done for them. So if that can continue, it would be great, but there's a massive amount of shots fired already. We're down to 30%, or 32 points. We get at least 4 shots fired on the other side. So far, so good. But just look at the pressure down here at the bottom of the map. This is actually looking fantastic for them. So yeah, real good job. Early level 7. Level lead, bell tower conversion. That's how you try to play against an Abathur team. You pressure them while they don't have the level 10 ability. But as I said in the draft, this is a map where you can always make a massive comeback. If you make it into the late game, you always have the opportunity to turn it around. We've seen it so many times. Teams that were down to 1, 2, 3 points on the core and still turned the game, even against opponents that had 25 points or more, by simply controlling the map, controlling the late game team fights, and then taking it from there. So the question still remains, can maybe a few of these pumpkins also be escorted in, or are they able to poke those out? Rutsu with Zeratul jumping in, jumping out. Abby has to help out. Maiev in trouble, and Ultralisk is dead. Ultralisk is down. Abathur still sitting topside and soaking some experience with his body. Always body soaking. One of the most important things on Abathur, at least in the earlier stages of the game. But this kill was actually worth a lot right here. Okay, so far so good. Abathur still pushing out the top lane a little bit further. They are trying to catch up in experience. It's not going to be easy for them, but they're still going to attempt to do that. And it seems like they're just checking if maybe this camp is being taken as well, which currently is not the case. But the next objective has been announced, and it's a single altar. But they try to make the play for Lucio. Lucio, is he going to get out? Yes, he is. Losing the bottom bell tower is a problem. It's a big problem. You are in a situation where not only does your opponent now have 5 bell towers under their control and gets more out of channeling every single altar, but also the bot lane control allows the blue team to escort camps now into core range and get maybe a few more shots connected. Lauber with the Stormbolt attempt, dodged out. Juke Master 2000 set a low. Nice move on the other hand by the blue team to simply zone them out as much as they can. Shots are connecting and they're down to 27 points. We're looking at level 10 abilities any second now though, and that's a big one. So that could really help here. Yeah, a few more shots are getting actually connected. One pumpkin made it through already. The second one makes it through. 25 points. Zeratul is dead, and the third shot connects too, putting them down to 24. The level 10 abilities definitely making it work now for Feel the Heat. And Feel the Heat is using all the momentum that they built up in game number 2 and carried it straight into the third game of this series. And we have 23 stacks now for Dino. Good job for the early game. 6 minutes in. That's a solid progress for him. Bit of pressure here on Blade, and Diva is down. Yep, no more playtime for her. Same time now though, the level 10 abilities are finally ready for the red team. And this is really where the Abathur setup comes online. If you get into the late game with Abathur, of course, he has Soma Transference on 13, and the, I mean, depending on what you go for, 16, where you have a few more choices. But Adrenal Overlord, for example, make it incredibly dangerous to go up against either Greymane or against Zeratul. But right now, as you can see, we have a beautiful setup for the red team to take these team fights. But they are under pressure on the macro level, and they have to make sure that they're taking these fights before the level 13 talents, and that they have to also take coordinated ones. Interestingly enough, by the way, we see another Void Prison setup here today. Oh, Pumpkins could make it through again. One destroyed, one makes it through, second one connects as well. Boom, another shot fired. That's 22. But yeah, Rutsu, even with Abathur, not going into the full solo man Zeratul setup, trying to isolate a couple of targets. Works, of course, really nicely also against the Sanctification on the side of Tyrael, so that's another aspect. Oftentimes you see that interaction between Sanctification and Void Prison, pretty much the reason here. Nice! And Yasuo gets out as the copy of Dark Mode is about to get burned down, but that was exactly the explosive start into the fight that we needed from the Abathur setup. But now the copy is eliminated, and Tyrael moved down to the bottom of the map to get the channel through on the altar. They're trying to go for Blade. Tyrael though, the Void Prison. Tyrael gets the shots fired. Yasuo, oh, the shield. But at least D.Va is dead. D.Va dead. Muradin looks for the Stormbolt. Doesn't have it on cooldown apparently. 4 kills to 2. 17 points on the core against 36. Whew. Yeah, spicy game. And the Fanclub, they need kills. They need kills so that they can take control over the game, can take the bell towers back, and Feel the Heat is very reluctant to give even an inch. Once again, the fight over the next altar is already happening, and Maiev is just cleaving the shit out of them at this point. All that AoE damage that we see over here, and of course also Cassia putting in even more work. Zeratul is down. Now they go for Lauber, and Lauber is about to die. Double kill, and the channel with another 5 shots fired. A very aggressive setup for the Fanclub, and it is backfiring hard right here. Abathur is pushing out the top lane at least, so he's able to get that done, but the problem still remains. They're down to 12 points against 36. It is a comeback map. It is a comeback map. You gain some momentum, you are getting a little bit more aggressive later on, and you still find yourself in a good spot. But of course, the last few fights didn't really bode well for Laubers Fanclub. Now, with the help of Abathur, Svampgrota can easily take this at the top, even with Blade around, or at least get close to it. Now that the minions are gone, he's still hightailing it out of there. Doesn't want to risk dying. But down at the bottom of the map, the fights, they still continue. And over here, the idea is, of course, once more to escort this through. And they are doing a decent job on that. Here comes the ult again. All of the pumpkins get super close once more to the death zone. Another 3 shots would already put them down into the single digits. But we're not just there yet. Ooh, Void Prison. 6 pumpkins right now. D.Va on her way. Most of the pumpkins already destroyed as they are fielding the entire 5-man to stop this attack. But Muradin has to jump out, and there's still a couple of pumpkins left. They're trying to take the remaining ones. Lauber gets out barely, but he's able to escape, and all of the pumpkins are obliterated. Good job by the Fanclub. Was close. Was really, really close. But at the same time, they were able to take everything down. So they accomplished everything that they wanted to do. Abathur had a little bit more soak here on lane and is now moving back with the double altar that is up now. Oh, sorry, the single altar that is spawning at the bottom of the map. They are forced into a fight, but we have level 13 talents, and I talked about Soma Transference already a little bit earlier. It will help those attackers, those assassins, to stay alive much, much longer now. And they are jumping into the battle again as we speak, trying to go for that quick kill. Copy on Abathur, already used. Henning in trouble, and he goes down as D.Va moves in for the kill, and they are on the run again. Feel the Heat is shutting them down every step of the way. Lauber sucked back in as they are turning to take him down too. Svampgrota, the only one that might just be able to get away. But the 5 shots, they get fired, and that puts the red team down into the single digits. Zeratul rotating topside at least helps finally to reclaim one of the bell towers. One at the top in this case, but of course the situation hasn't really changed. They are still down to only 7 points against 36. And that is bad enough, but on top of that, we also have a level 16 talent very, very soon now for the team in blue. Yeah, they're looking at a great setup right now, and it's going to be real tricky to come back into this. I mean, I keep repeating myself, it's still Towers of Doom, but of course, if so much momentum is now being pushed on you, then things are still looking pretty bad. And the bot lane defense is just happening time and time again, as we have pretty much the Fanclub just holding on dear life. I mean, they can't really do anything. Keep in mind that the boss is up, of course, too. That's another 4 points if you get it. Lauber gets sucked back in, a little bit of slapperoni, as in this case, Stukov comes in and slaps them around a little bit and tries to create some space, but the pumpkins are now moving through. Pumpkins are moving in, and they're just poking them down as quickly as they can. Here comes the copy. They're trying to force the fight right now. It's a 5 versus 5 once more. Bunny hop, as D.Va is trying to hop their way to victory. The 16 talents are a huge problem at this point for the Fanclub. They're really just trying to get the experience here. Abathur is holding on to the top lane as much as he can, and is also soaking, trying to get them the extra talent, but it's a triple altar phase that's coming in right now, and they have to win at least 2 of these altars, or it's lights out. It might be 4 points against 4 on at least the bell tower account, but this is still tricky and nasty. Where's that copy when you need it? Abathur is about to come in here. Yeah, Abathur is actually sneaking in deep. Abathur gets the first channel, can go for the second. Down here the fight starts, there's the explosion. Oh, but the double kill! Oh my god, Stukov down. They lose Greymane. Now Zeratul is in trouble as well, and well, he barely makes it out. Abathur has taken the top right, so they won at least 2. But this is going to be real trouble. This is going to be a game. At this point, Wit can go for the channel. The shots are being fired. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is victory for the Fanclub. Sorry, for Fear the Heat, of course. The Fanclub defeated as the blue team takes a 2-1 win in the best of 3 series.